opinions expressed on Carter's Corner are entirely independent of the opinions of Radio 89.7 FM's Wise Board, talented management and wonderful sponsors. Carter's Corner respects the right of each individual to hold and express an opinion unfettered by the shackles of political correctness and without fear of quivering in the quicksand of cancel culture. Radio is for entertainment, not censorship.
Carter's Corner with Aaron Malloy, Travis Carter, Kai and Elaine. We are up to our next favourite song. Segment. Song. What am I doing? I must be tired. This is terrible, terrible, terrible. So we did have a theme song, but it's kind of disappeared. I'll have to dig it up.
You and technology, my friend. Jeez. Press the any key. I've told you.
I have glasses too. Like I'm full geek mode, and I still managed to screw it up. So now, and I also failed to press a button for green mic, which is Elaine. So welcome back, Elaine.
Thanks a lot, Travis. You need to go to Specsavers.
He certainly does.
My glass. I actually really do need new glasses. Anyway, so Conspiracy Corner. I think we need another ditto before we get into this because today's conspiracy theory, Conspiracy Corner, has a bit of a theme with it. So, without further ado...
I still call like a commercial.
Now, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes, I still call
it's either Kevin Bloody Wilson or Rodney Roode.
One of the two. I'm not really sure. I just made it, man. I have no idea who sang it.
And for those who don't know, it's a Qantas theme song, and today's Conspiracy Corner is dedicated to Alan Joyce.
I can't believe you just did that. Oh, no wonder my hair's fallen out. That's all I can say.
I'll wait till you find out the song was actually Rolf Harris. But
Was it really Rolf Harris? Oh, there's so many highly not appropriate things I can say to that. That's bad.
Oh, yeah, no, let's not go there.
Back away. Oh, that's something No, don't.
Nah.
Okay, no.
No, not backing away. Not backing forward, not backing away.
That's really bad. All right, so for the people who don't know, and if you're a subscriber to Perth Now, shame on you. So let's get Kai to give everyone a rundown what's actually going on. And for everyone else, we can actually open our eyes and understand what's going on. So Kai, take it away. What has... Oh, I nearly said it again. Alan Joyce done this time?
well, I can give one example. He likes to have it both ways, obviously. In another sense. So I'll go back to his interview with Tracy Grimshaw last night, and he's, on the one hand, saying how wonderful the ventilation systems on all of the Qantas aircraft are. They ventilate from the top to the ground.
So they really suck?
My word.
I'm leaving the room. Okay. Elaine, you coming with me? I've had enough of these.
This is fun. I like it.
Okay.
They changed the volume of the aircraft at an order of magnitude more than an ICU ward. If there is, he was saying, being seated shoulder to shoulder with the person next to you, it is the equivalent of being 3 metres apart in any other circumstance on the plane. Where's therefore, of course, you need the vaccination to get on that place that's better than outdoors.
Hang on, just so we're clear, you have a ventilation system that's better than intensive care in the hospitals that have been treating COVID, but you still need a vaccination to get onto an aeroplane for a flu.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah. But is he saying that ventilation system is so effective that if you've got it, you're going to spread it to everybody? Is that what he's saying?
Well, it depends where the air gets pumped. Now, as a bit of a bonus for the listeners of the show, I actually know someone who is very famous in Qantas circles.
Okay.
And he is absolutely loathed by Alan Joyce.
I reckon I know who this is, funny enough.
And my understanding is he is the only person ever to receive a lifetime ban from flying on any Qantas flight.
Wow.
Tony, are you with us?
Yes.
So, how'd you like your introduction?
Oh, yeah, it could go anywhere, couldn't it?
Exactly. So, for those who don't know, Tony is the notorious pie man. So he is the one and only person that put, my understanding, it was a lemon meringue pie in Alan Joyce's face during a press conference.
Sweet.
Sour, a little bit, yeah.
Oh, that's terrible, Aaron. That's
I
terrible.
congratulate you, Tony. That was well done.
So I have to admit, you are the hero of probably everyone in this studio today. We just think Alan is a bit of a muppet. We'll leave that one alone.
Yep.
So what made you decide to put a pie in his face?
It started some time earlier, where I was getting increasingly grumpy at the behaviour of corporate executives in Australia. My view is that we don't want our corporate executives telling us what we should or shouldn't do in terms of social policy. And at that stage, the conversation was around gay marriage, and you had people like Richard Goyder at Wesfarmers and the boss of ANZ and Holden and of course our king of Qantas, all telling us what we should think and what should happen. My view is that companies, we require them to run good businesses, to employ people, to provide good services, but we elect governments to decide on things like social policy. So it could have been, any one, a number of people who copped a pie, but Joyce was the one who happened to be in town. It had been in the mine for, about 3 weeks, and I went to a barbecue the previous Saturday and just listened to the conversation, and I suddenly realised, hang on, I wasn't the only one who was feeling a bit, jacked off with the way the
Okay.
things were going.
Okay. Now I'm going to throw this in because before you lose the plot completely.
10 points, Tony.
Yeah, nice work.
Jacked off.
Look, I'm absolutely massively. My belief is for marriage equality and equality between people. I don't care. Marry who you want to marry. Love who you want to love. Right? Okay. But that's between you. It is not about corporate business telling us our social policy and what we should think and where we travel and all that kind of carry on. They have no right into our thoughts or our bedrooms, as far as I'm concerned. And that's my problem with Joyce. I think that he has his own agenda. He's obviously a very proud gay man, and good on him for that. But that's his private business, and he shouldn't be using his power, okay, and exploiting that power to push that idea onto people. Some people want it, some people don't. But the fact of the matter is, it's their right to have their thought, their decision, and not for him to make up their minds.
Now, we do have another... This is funny you should say that, because it gets even juicier. I don't know if I should have used that word. But now, Elaine Kai, who wants to talk about the red carpet performance?
Oh, my God.
Oh, who wants to talk about those performers? Come on, Kyle.
I could fill you in if you like on that one.
Yeah, go for it.
There was an event, I believe it was the celebration of the reopening of one of the borders, and so the first flight in got a special welcoming with an LGBT theme. They walked down the red carpet and were greeted by several strapping young men wearing nothing but very short red shorts and a drag queen in full regalia. They had to walk the gauntlet in front of the cameras and embrace it as they came in on their flight. And you could see actually in the background of the video a few people noping out and exiting off frame at the start. So it wasn't everyone's cup of tea. But it was right there for everyone to
I love
see.
that term, noping out. It's like, nope, I'm out. So, yeah. Personally, I've got two very, very small children, and if the borders are open, I'd fly over to New South Wales to go see my dad and their grandfather.
Yep.
There's no way in hell I would be going anywhere near. I've been a massive supporter of the young Liberals that did the protests out the library when they were protesting the drag queens reading books to the kids. That's an issue for the parents to discuss with the children.
That's right.
It is not something for your local community library. I know this might be a little bit controversy. We've got a lot of sponsors who are involved with the library system. And I understand that. So obviously that's not their opinion. This is purely my opinion.
Yep.
Again, like Aaron said, if you want to swing that way, you swing that way.
Knock yourself out. Simple.
Well, don't, because that hurts.
Okay, that's
but,
a good point.
you do you. and let me raise my kids in peace. How I feel that the kids should be raised.
But this is the thing. We've got this great push for socialism at the moment, right? This great push for government to tell us how to raise our children, okay? I mean, they're stealing children at an alarming rate. That we've got, the worst social policies right now for actually removing children from families than we've ever had in history, making, the stolen generation look like a blip in the radar in comparison. It's that disgusting. We have all of this control right now of how we're raising our kids, how we live our lives. Cut it out. Back off. Let us make the decisions on how we raise our kids, how we live our lives. If you know what, I do. I mean, I've got friends who, I've got gay friends obviously, and I've got friends who are very flamboyant and so forth. I've been to drag shows, okay? I've been to those shows, all that kind of thing, and
Didn't you do drag yourself?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've frocked up, absolutely. I'm not drag. I'm a very ugly woman. Let's be honest. But I'm a terrible looking man. You can imagine what happens when I frock up. But my point being is that is something that we should make that decision ourselves, and we should not be having government or business step in and tell us. No way.
Now, let's bring it back to our special guest, Mr. Pieman, Tony. I have to ask, with Alan's amount of power and authority he actually has within the government and stuff like that, besides getting banned for life, what other consequences happened to you because of that lemon meringue in the face? Did they try to press charges or anything against you?
Oh, yeah, there were 4 charges. Assault, property damage, a bit of lemon got on the microphone, illegally on premises because I wasn't an invited guest, and there was a misunderstanding over my name and address. So I went before the court. Joyce was rabbiting on for days about he wasn't hearing enough remorse, and I thought, is this bloke going to get a Sydney sharpshooting lawyer and come after the house or something like that? So I thought I was out of my depth. I better get someone. So Tom Percy, QC, came on board and did mates rates because we're in the same boarding house years before. Anyway, that was $5,500, and then the judge totaled it up to about $4,000 for below $4,000 of charge costs. So there was $9,500. I mean, I thought a pie cost $29.95, but anyway. But here's the thing. Over the next 6 weeks or so, I mean, my number's not listed because I didn't have a landline, but somehow or other people got hold of the number or got hold of an email address and were making contact. Mate, what's your bank account? And totally unsolicited, over the next 6 weeks or so, just over $9,500 came into the account. There was one family put as much as $2,500 in.
So, is your only regret you didn't go Black Forest? I mean,
well, hang on, it could have been a Bomb Alaska.
Oh, guys. This is bad for me, trying to clean this up.
I think I have to get out of the room now.
Now-
This is getting real dirty.
Wow, Aaron's actually crying. So the question is, did you get to taste the pie before you put it in his face, or did you taste it after?
No, I didn't taste it. I didn't need to. But the cheesecake shop were worried that he hadn't, had the opportunity to taste it. So they actually offered him a cake in his office some weeks later, and he's such an ungracious creature that he turfed them out.
how rude is that? I mean, look,
Disgusting.
you know what? You can do whatever you like in your life, but the moment you knock back cheesecake, get out of town.
He was just concerned about the company's profiteroles.
Yeah. But I think the thing that I find a bit uneasy, about last night, the gay marriage debate's been and gone. That was a couple of years ago.
Done.
So what on earth have we got the gay mob as a guard for people going on to Qantas? I think that is deeply offensive.
It is
offensive. I think it demonstrates that here's a bloke who has lost the plot in terms of what's appropriate. Someone running a national airline needs to have their wits about them a little bit more than that. And in the same day, he was proposing that the airlines take control of who does and doesn't get on a plane as to whether they've had a vaccination.
Now,
That's an issue for government.
Of course it is.
And I think this guy has absolutely ruled himself out as being someone who's appropriate to manage that sort of thing, because he simply doesn't know what's appropriate.
He has no idea whatsoever. And the fact is, if let's turn the tables gender-wise, right? Okay, the fact of the matter is that is so inappropriate to objectify those men like that. Absolutely not on. That, to have them there in their underwear with children around and that sort of thing. Look, drag queens are, entertainment, all that kind of thing. That they do a great job of the show that they do in a licensed premises where children, aren't. Okay, because it's a sexualized industry. That's what it is. That the whole thing is based in sex. All right. Okay. You shouldn't have that at an airport where children and people who don't want to see it can see it. Absolutely disgusting. The man has lost his mind. He's popped a chip, and as far as I'm concerned, government, somebody should be having a bit of a word. And
a bit of word? Maybe the federal police.
You know what? He needs kicking out of that job. Full stop.
Yeah, resign.
Before we get too much
Cancelled,
into
funny
this,
enough.
this show's about stopping cancel culture, and we're
Yes,
talking about
exactly.
cancelling
I know.
Alan Joyce. So, no. So what I'd like to do, we do have the request line, 0418 897 897. I've heard of a poll on the West, Perth Now.
That's right.
Insane support for Alan Joyce in this. But then, just wait. I saw another poll on Channel 9, total opposite.
Yeah.
88% against it.
Like
So
I've said before, 76% of statistics are made up on the spot.
I think what we need to do is actually do our own poll. So send it through on the text line, 0418 897 897. Yes or no, do you support Alan Joyce in demanding vaccinations before you're allowed to fly internationally?
Okay, can I put my vote in right now?
Yeah, go for it.
No.
One for Aaron. Kai?
I'll say no, and I'll use the Dominion voting system to support that.
Okay.
That's about 1,000.
Elaine?
I have a message come through which I'd love to read. It
Okay.
says they can go shove it. This is an atrocity. Who will line up and get their microchips? Oops, I mean COVID vaccinations.
Oh, nice. Hey, I'm just wondering, can I still vote after I die? Apparently that's kind of
No.
popular.
Apparently
no,
you can vote 10 or
get
12.
another 4 shots, yeah.
Now, Tony, you're the special guest at the moment. Yes or no? Will you be flying? Well, you can't fly, can you? So I'm guessing it's a no.
No.
Sorry, I was going to say, would you fly Qantas?
I gather that I'm unique in that plenty of people have been banned on Qantas, but it's usually if they've, got boozed out of their mind and been offensive to other passengers on the plane. I mean, my issue wasn't anything to do with Qantas passengers. It was a statement to Joyce, the individual, as an executive. So, but anyway, and he copped a heap of flack when he put that lifetime ban on, and it wasn't just on Qantas; it was on all of their code share airlines. So it makes it and there was a Sydney lawyer contacted me. He wanted to take it to the federal court because his attitude was, look, if it was the boss of the Wagga Hospital or something or other who copped a pie and banned me from the Wagga Hospital is a public facility and they can't do that sort of thing. And this Sydney lawyer's argument was that Qantas is effectively, because air travel is so important to this country, and there are places where they actually have the monopoly, in some regional centres. So his argument was that it was completely out of order for a national service provider to, that's got a social licence agreement from our society to hold that position for them to ban an individual, for access to what was essentially, he saw it as an essential service.
Okay, now, why are you not suing him for freedom of movement?
So I do have to cut in there because we do need to go to a message from our sponsors,
We do.
which is not Qantas.
Thank goodness for that.
So we will go to a message and a couple of songs, and we'll be back with Tony. This is hilarious. I'm loving this. So a couple of things are also coming through on the text line, so we will be hitting them up as well. Tony, are you cool to stick around for a bit longer?
Yep, that's right.
Fantastic. So we've got a bit of a message from our sponsors. We'll be right back with Carter's Corner.